on the level. See me eye to eye. Stand up like a man. Even from the other side. On the level. Never had a choice. Never had a chance. Never had a voice. On the level. Carrying a name. Fall onto my final day. Who's there left to play? On the level. On the level.
What's up and welcome to another Mograph Mocast. I'm Dave.
And I'm Matt, and joining us this week is our good friend, Miss Kristin Sjoquist.
Hey guys.
We got a great show for you today. Make sure that you follow us on YouTube, TikTok, Instagram. We're actually live on TikTok right now. So you can always hit us up on TikTok and watch us there. You can turn the screen sideways and go full screen too. It's cool. It's a dual
Is it doing
screen
Mograph Live?
situation.
Or is it just like one of your cameras?
It's it's Mograph TV. You piped right in. Yeah.
Nice.
So it's pretty fun. So make sure you follow us on all those things for all the show clips and other gems. Join the Mograph Slack so you can nerd out with us and check out the ridiculous amount of channels in there. And then Discord, which has the same channels, but mostly we don't talk in them. We just hang out on video and chill all day.
Winbush posts.
Yeah, he does. He posts his tutorials in there when he's,
Yep.
I think he has a list of places to post everything.
Right.
That's how you do it, right? But yeah, so we got a lot of good stuff there. Make sure you check us out. We're bringing you more in 24, and that is, of course, because of our universal sponsor, Otoy. They are Mograph's universal sponsor for this year and hopefully next year and hopefully the year after that and after that and after that. You know who they are. They're the makers of Octane Render and, of course, the Render Network, so you can render your renders. And they're good friends of ours. Jules is going to be on the show next week, so make sure that you get your questions in. It's going to be a huge nerd fest, as usual. That's February 5th. Make sure you send in those questions. So we're going to have so much to talk about.
Yeah.
With Octane Render and the Render Network, you make the beautiful renders and then you render them quickly. Just go to otoy.com and thank them for helping to make the show possible. We really appreciate that.
Yeah.
And
I've been working like really heavily on my Mac this weekend, so this is like the first chance I've had to really use all my computers now that they've integrated the cross-platform rendering, you know. And one thing I will say I absolutely love about working on a Mac in Octane, when you get those render errors where it's like render error and it turns red and like you get the log that goes crazy and you got to completely reset Cinema 4D and bring it back up. Doesn't do that on a Mac. You just close it down and you restart it.
I thought they were bringing that to the PC as well.
Yeah, I know they had talked about it. I don't know what it is, but I will tell you that is extremely convenient.
Yeah, I don't like having to restart all the time. We got our follow-up from the poll from last week, which was, should creative tool companies fully embrace AI, take a balanced approach, or pretend that AI doesn't exist at all? At 25% said fully embrace AI, 63% balanced approach, and 13% actually said pretend it doesn't exist at all. I'm like, all right, well, sounds like the balanced approach is probably the best way to go with that. And speaking of Octane, though, we're going to do a poll this week. We are doing an Octane poll. What feature are you most excited about? Is it post-effect shader graphs, which I know some people are playing with, denoiser AOV nodes, new geometry pipeline, which is supposed to be a lot quicker and faster, and
do you have a screen for that?
Oh, what now? A screen?
Or do you have a screen for that?
For what?
With the QR code?
Oh, yeah, I do have that.
Sorry.
And the last one is mixed platform network rendering, which is what you were just talking about. So make sure you scan the QR code right now, and we'll follow up later on in the show. I know not a lot of people watch live necessarily, or they listen. So if you are driving, please do not scan the QR code. Wait until you get somewhere safe, or just log in and go to YouTube and check out this QR code under this poll and take the poll. Again, that's post effects shader graphs, denoiser AOV nodes, new geometry pipeline, mixed platform rendering. I could have put other. I didn't put other.
Yeah.
There's other things.
Mixed platform rendering is the best. Like,
that's your vote.
My
right?
life has completely changed. Like, working on my Mac Studio, it's just the M1 Mac Studio, M1 Ultra, and it's so fast, and it's so nice to be back on this operating system again, and have my messages, my text messages right there again.
That's the best part. Yeah, I'm actually gonna.
Dude, I'll tell you what. If you were to switch over to a Mac Studio, you'd still have all your nodes and stuff like that. Oh, of course, I guess you've got all the live
stuff,
software and plugins and this stuff. Yeah.
There's no way. I got a Mac laptop right here. It's all good.
Yeah.
I'm actually going to bring the poll back up so I can take the poll as well right now, because I'm going to put my opinion. So everybody scan it right now. I'm going to go I'm going for the new geometry pipeline, actually, to tell you.
What is the new geometry pipeline?
Well, we're going to find out next week. Look, you can see.
I'm really excited about it. I don't know what
it
is.
Yeah. One of the things that Jules was talking about on one of our previous episodes was that you can stream geometry, right? So like you can have yes. So in the way that you could so that's going to be really cool. So it's not taking up VRAM. So I'm very excited about that. So that is our poll. We will follow up later in the show, but for now, let's go to headlines. All right. Dave McGavran of Maxon posted a particle banana on Twitter, and I forget what his comment was on it or whatever, but this seems to be the trend. He posts things on Twitter before it's actually announced through the Maxon channel, I guess, is like a preview. I don't know, to gauge things or whatever. Matt is not allowed to comment on this one.
I cannot speak of this, yes.
Yeah, he is in the beta program, so he is left out of this.
Yes.
So I can't actually really see what's going on with this banana that much. I mean, you can kind of see it, but there's some things going on like on the ground there. Like looks like there's some wavy fields and things going on. Honestly, we're gonna have to see how it works. It's like, okay, we see this, but like what's going on here? I want to look under the hood. And there was another one he posted later on as well, and same thing. I can't tell exactly what's going on. There's no motion blur. That's number one. That's the first thing I notice. I know it's just a test, but one of the questions is going to be like how I guess how advanced is this, right? Like how fully formed is this function going to be once it's released? Is it just going to be basic? Are we talking X particles level of integration? I don't know.
Those are all very interesting questions.
Very interesting questions that Matt's not allowed to talk about. I don't know. So I guess we'll just move on to the second headline. How about that?
Yeah, so let's talk LinkedIn. As a lot of y'all probably know, I've when I got back from the tour, I kind of hit the ground running really heavy because being on tour kind of like diluted my ability to really pick up jobs and stuff. So I've been kind of did this test with LinkedIn where I paid for premium and stuff. And I have to tell you, I absolutely hate LinkedIn. It is just a gigantic, like, self-congratulatory, it's the worst of the social networks. And that's including Twitter.
I love congratulations on your work anniversary. I'm like, what is that?
Right.
And why are you congratulating me?
Yeah. And it's deceptive in its nature because it makes you think that if you pay for premium, that you'll have like these advantages over other people, like, oh, they'll feed your resume more than another person or something like that. And when in all honesty, it doesn't matter. Like, none of it is actually happening. And I chatted up the Slack to see if anyone had actually gotten any work, because out of all the times that I've spent on LinkedIn, my whole LinkedIn career, I guess, I've maybe gotten 2 jobs. One of them took 5 years of creating a relationship before they sent us any work, which that did turn out to be one of the biggest clients we've ever had. But the other person that I got was just abusive and talked down to me the entire time. So while I did like maybe 3 jobs for him, I eventually just had to like fire him because, and that's kind of the I feel like that's kind of the people that you can expect, or the clients that you'll expect if you're posting on LinkedIn and just like saying, hey, hit me up for work, blah, blah, blah. The most important thing is making connections within this community. That's why the Slacks and the Discords and everyone are so important, because I've gotten more work from knowing people and seeing people and talking to people than I have on LinkedIn. And another thing that just irks me, when you're filling out applications. So I have filled out over 400 applications in the past 3 months, right? Going about, a little over 100 applications a month, basically hitting up the Cinema 4D, search, remote, and filtering by 24 hours. So if it's within the 24 hours, I'll just go ahead and apply for it, whatever. But you're supposed to, they say you're supposed to change your resume to match the job for every application. And it's like, if you're sending over 100 and something resumes a month, you don't have time for that.
What are you supposed to be changing for each one?
You're supposed to be looking at their individual like requests, like, oh, we need someone who's a team player, so that you put team player inside your resume and stuff like that. It's so crappy. And it's like, if you don't play within their system, like they expect you to play within their system, but then they send everything through an AI bot, that will automatically search for these things. And it's like, okay, I'm supposed to play your game, but you're not going to play my game of actually looking and taking the time to look at this, Not to mention, on LinkedIn, you're competing with thousands of other people, because it tells you how many people have applied for that specific job. Just thousands. And it is a truly, truly awful place to try and get seen, you know? And if you're not willing to put in time, like I've noticed Dryson the past like few weeks or months or whatever has been posting content online onto his LinkedIn. And he posted this one saying, oh, someone was telling me that I was crushing LinkedIn. And it's like, okay, so now I'm supposed to treat LinkedIn like a whole nother social network site where I'm trying to build a brand for myself, like going on there and being schmoozy Matt and being like, hey, did you know this about motion graphics? And it's like, come on, like just give me a place.
They
Now,
want
there
you
were
to
two
be.
jobs.
They want you to be posting like TikTok videos on it and stuff, that kind of thing.
Absolutely. And LinkedIn is not the place for that. And LinkedIn is not the place for creatives. I will tell you that much. LinkedIn is not made for creative people, because no one in their right mind, any studio who's going to hire you, is not going to look at your resume first. They're going to look at your demo reel, and barely any places actually ask for a demo reel. You know, not to mention you get recruiters who hit you up, right? And they're like, I love your work. Could we chat about a position that I have available, right? And first you're like, one, I doubt you even looked at my work because you're a recruiter. You know, I want to respond and say, cool, what was your favorite piece that I worked on?
That's what I always do when I get these emails. We love your website and we want to work with you. And oh, really? What do you like about the show? Oh, that one episode where you, and then they talk about something from last week, because you know that's just what they just looked up.
Right. Yeah, and so like it's stupid, because then they'll hit you up, oh, I loved your work, and it's like, okay, I'm going to be the positive person all the time, you know. Well, not all the time, just when it comes to looking for a job. But I'll instantly respond because I always have my LinkedIn up, you know, just in case something happens, and I'll say, oh, thanks, I'm glad you like my work. Yeah, when would you like to chat? I have free time this day, you know. And then they ghost you. And it's like, seriously?
Ghosted. Yeah.
Seriously? You're a recruiter out there looking to fill this position that you are probably going to get a commission on either the hourly rate, like Creative Circle does, you know, or some other thing. And like, you don't even have the decency just to respond to a simple message that you sent me, and I responded back within 5 seconds. Not to mention the school messages. Have y'all gotten these school messages?
No.
Where it's like, I get these all the time, where it's like it's like a paid advertisement in my message box, where it's like, oh, do you want to up your game in this? You should come to this university. Would you like some more information on it? It's like, no. Why would I want more information?
Is that something they pay for? Do they pay to have the ability to spam you like that?
Yes, 100%.
Lame.
Anyway, now, if for anyone listening who, you know, is posting jobs or whatever, here's the two things that I have loved, and it's only happened a few times. One, Motionographer does a really good job of this, where when you're applying on their site, you know, you put your name and then you just put your resume and you put your demo reel, and then that's it, right? Like, that's all you need. You don't need to fill out the information of if you're a disabled veteran or if you're whatever, you know. And it's like, just you know, just let me give you the information. And then another one was really cool. It gave you the opportunity to record a 60-second video, which, you know, I may not shine necessarily on my resume, but I'll shine on video, you know?
Does it have to be like live recorded, or can you just upload something that you already made?
No, you have to live record it from your webcam. At least that was the way, you know?
Yeah.
So it's like I liked it, you know, the fact that it gave me 60 seconds, and I felt like that was like a personality, right? You get 100 of those, you spend 2 hours of your time looking through the 60 seconds, and you pick the one that matches well. Boom, done.
Okay, here's what you do. Because it's a live input, right? You set this all up ahead of time in OBS, and you reconfigure the
that's a good
outputs
idea.
to go through.
That's
and
a
then
really good
halfway
idea.
through, some sort of crazy VFX motion things happen, and you're like, what? And they're going to get it, and they'll be like, how did they do that live?
Yeah, that's a really good idea.
Yeah.
All right, next time that comes up, I'm going to do that.
All right, cool.
But it's like, you know, the market, you know, we had the poll a couple weeks ago about the market, and like, do we think it's going to be stronger? And like, I feel like more and more that we're looking pretty negative this year. And like I've been hearing it from all ends, from all people on Reddit, on Slack, on
But
it's
Matt,
it is
the
tough
stock
out there
market,
for a
though,
gangster.
the stock market's at an all-time high. What's your problem?
Yeah, right. Because of layoffs and stuff like that, you know,
Yeah.
they're able to make record profits.
Right. Yeah, I don't
So-
know. April's coming, and you know what that means? It's time to go to NAB. It's time to get ready to go to NAB, get your flights,
Time to get
all the
COVID
things.
again.
Yeah. It's coming up. Well, we didn't get it last year. We're gonna hang
We
out.
didn't. No.
Yeah.
We just got the normal NAB crud.
Yeah, well, that's true.
Just the normal NAB crud.
Yeah, it's coming up April 14th through 17th. Make sure that you are staying tuned. Make sure you get on the Slack channel, because the Slack channel has all the info actually about where to go, what to do. Some of this stuff is kind of vague right now, but just make sure that you are there. Actually, I would say the night before it starts. Make sure, or the day before. Make sure you're there early enough to hang out the night before, because that's. Now wait, what do we have going on the night before? Or am I wrong?
We don't
There
really
used-
have
there
anything.
used to be a meetup.
That's normally when we play the ponies.
That's the ponies. See, things have
That's the
changed in the
ponies.
last couple of years. So the
Yeah.
beer meetup is actually the night of the first
Night.
The
It's
first
that
night.
Sunday.
Yes,
Mhm.
Sunday. That's
That's
the
if
Mograph
they're going to
meetup.
do it this year. We haven't heard anything yet.
Haven't heard anything yet. And actually,
Yeah.
Rev and I were talking about maybe asking them if we could set up our
You should
DJ
DJ.
stuff like
Yep.
on the patio. So
DJ Dad.
Dad and Revelo doing our thing in Vegas. Monday night, I think we're going to do the karaoke at the same place again.
Yes.
That place was awesome last year. It was
That place was
cheap.
great. Yeah. It was cheap. Yeah.
Yes.
And yeah.
They took
It was
care of
great.
us. It was awesome. Tuesday night will probably be Max on Pinball. And
Yes.
Wednesday night, I don't know. What did we do
Yeah.
last year?
Wednesday night is always just like kind of a free for all or whatever, you know?
Yeah.
I don't know. We tried to play we went and played craps at this really dingy place, and then all of us lost our money. It was awful.
Sounds like a good time.
No, it wasn't a good time. No.
So this May, I believe Paul is coming. So because he's departing
Yeah.
Maxon, this not going to be his last NAB, but the last NAB with Maxon. So we gotta party it up with Paul, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
So
Buy him a drink.
make sure that you get on that Slack channel, the NAB 2024 channel. You can talk to people about like what you should do while you're there, what kind of packing tips for things you should bring, shoes, lip balm, what else? Gold Bond medicated powder.
Definitely. Yes.
All the
If
things.
you can fit a humidifier in your bag or have one delivered to your hotel room, by all means do. Yes.
buy some
Sort of
waters.
noise machine to be able to sleep, because, you know, if you're staying at the Luxor right outside the elevators like I was one year.
Yeah, bring your
was
sound machine.
awful.
Bring your sound machine. Kristen, are you coming? Are you going to NAB?
I hope so.
Yeah,
We
you-
haven't started planning for that yet, but
Have
I
you-
would love to.
You've been
Have you been before?
Mm-mm.
Oh,
I have not.
yeah. Pack your sound machine. Your
It's,
Miami sound machine.
My sound machine, humidifier mix
Yeah.
machine.
So I really don't have any more information on that. But speaking of meetups, though, Matt, you got a meetup to talk about here.
Yeah, real quick on the NAB front, just if you join the Slack channel, if you're looking for like a free exhibition only pass, they will probably have one. Maxon will have one at
Oh,
some
yeah, right,
point,
right.
and we'll make sure and post it in there. We'll also probably talk about it on the show or whatever.
sure,
But
for
it's
sure.
the Slack is a great resource for you.
Yeah,
So,
don't pay for tickets.
but yeah, like what?
Don't pay for tickets. Just pay for your
Don't pay for
hotel
tickets.
and
No.
just don't worry about anything else.
Yeah. As Dave was saying, on the meetup front, this week at UTD, they're doing a motion design meetup Thursday, February 1st from 7 to 9. It's in the room ATC 2101 at the UT Dallas campus. Just super exciting. They've got guest speaker Steve Garcia. Is an Emmy Award winning motion designer, all around badass. So it's going to be a lot of fun. If you want to get tickets, there's a QR code on the screen right now. Get them while they're available. We're super excited that UTD is doing this, and Mograph is going to be sponsoring it. So come and get some pizzas, some drinks, or whatever. Not like alcoholic drinks because they don't do that, but you get the pizza,
And maybe an after
play
party,
some games, talk to some people. Yeah, I would love to do a little after party. Find a little place, like just a little bar for all of us to hang out and chat.
Yeah.
Maybe I don't know if Fox and the Hound is still open in Richardson. Like not the one we used to go to, but there's another one over by UTD that maybe we could hit up or something. I don't know. This is close to Addison. Maybe we could just find a, whatever. But yeah, if you need more information on it, hit us up in the Slack or send us an email. info@mograph.com.
Cool.
Yeah.
The Sagery, Sage, aka the Sagery, Andre. He's our artist spotlight this week.
Yes.
He has done this Dremel machine video that I thought was so good. This is so nerdy because
It's so good, yeah.
It's just such a nerdy thing. Like it's like, product rendering type thing, but it's just so good. And he posted it, and I was just commenting on the fact that like he even like did the sawdust particles and everything else.
Yeah,
and I was like, this
cool.
is just so good. And he's like, oh yeah, but the particles weren't exactly right shot to shot and all of that. And I'm like, dude, like this video looks great. So make sure you check that out. Make sure you check him out. We don't see much from him online that often, so I just he doesn't post that much. But he is the C4D subreddit mod. So make sure you get in good with him,
Yeah,
so he doesn't,
right.
So he
we
doesn't
did.
like ban hammer
That's where
you.
we got how we got as far as we did.
Yeah, we made that side area of Reddit where there's lists of websites.
Yeah,
made it big.
Reddit has changed a lot in the past. Gosh, what is it? 14 years or something?
Yeah.
I think I just hit my 11-year cake day the other day.
Oh, I forgot about cake days.
Right? You know what? And they got rid of Reddit Gold.
Really?
Reddit Gold was awesome.
Know that.
I think it's because they're about to go public, so they're making most of their money through like advertising them and stuff. They're about to be valued. I was seeing an ad. They're going to be valued at like $5 billion. Reddit is
about right. Yeah. You all right there?
Yeah, I've had a sinus infection I've been dealing with for the past week, and it got really bad, and then I've got just this lingering cough and like whatever drainage, and last night was the first night I didn't put on a breathe right strip in order to sleep.
Well, last big headline, and it's a big one.
Camp Mograph. Super exciting. Camp Mograph. We checked out the location last week. We are super excited to announce that we are going to Camp Duncan in right outside of Chicago. So get your Chicago dogs and your deep dish pizza ready, because Camp Mograph, September 12th through 16th. It is an awesome camp. I am so excited about this one. We're going to have some amazing activities and stuff. This one, it's like right on the lake. And what was so cool, we went there this past week, and like it was covered with snow. It was like a foot of snow, but you could see the potential when everything is green, and as soon as we drove up, you look out and there's like just a lake, just a beautiful, it was frozen. It was a beautiful frozen lake, that we'll be able to canoe in, and they've got the blob. The blob?
Oh, yeah.
From like Heavyweights, or Jackass, when like, you jump off one side and it shoots you off the other. It's going to be so fun. And then there's so many fire pits, which is so cool, and then we're really excited. Like one of the cabins, I think where we're going to set up the bar or something like that, has like its own kitchen, so we can make some late night snacks and stuff like that. We don't have to like grill out or whatever. And it's going to be so much fun. I am so excited. So make sure and set your calendars. I'm assuming tickets will go on sale April 20th again this year, like they do every year.
Yeah. We haven't announced it officially, but that's the general.
Yeah, we haven't officially announced anything, but I would assume that tickets would probably be, about that time. So make sure and stay tuned. Follow us on Instagrams and the Twitters and all the things for more information, or visit campmograph.com. Also, so that puts Camp Mograph US and Camp Mograph Australia out there. Camp Mograph Australia tickets are still available. They will be on sale at least until May 1st. So make sure and pick up your tickets before then, because we got to stop all ticket sales May 1st so that we can tally up, what we need for swag and what we need for all this other stuff. So you've got a limit. So make sure you pick up your tickets before then. We are super excited to see everyone in all these locations.
Yeah.
It's going to be a blast.
I can't wait.
Yeah.
Hi, my name is Sashia Dumont. I'm a writer, actor, and filmmaker.
Hi, my name is Paul Robinson. I'm a director, DP, and filmmaker. We are the creators and hosts of the Go Gorilla Filmcast, an online source for all things indie film.
We are a husband and wife film team and co-owners of Send 3 Productions, and we started this podcast for filmmakers like ourselves who were producing on micro budgets with skeleton crews.
Go Gorilla is a weekly podcast that features various talents in TV, film, and web series productions.
We've interviewed filmmaker powerhouses like Kestrin Pantera,
Richard Raymond,
Alex Ferrari,
Cassandra Ebner,
and Ryan Connolly. Amazing actors like Hannah Ward,
Lou Taylor Pucci,
Chris Wataski,
and Eileen Gruba,
groundbreaking cinematographers like Jody Lee Lipes,
and Jessica Lee Gagné, and many more.
We also offer weekly reviews of our favorite films and shows, which vary from low-budget first-time filmmakers to A-listers and everyone in between. Go Gorilla is proud to announce that we have officially joined the Mograph Podcast Network.
So if you love filmmaking as much as we do,
tune in every Sunday for a new episode of the Go Gorilla Filmcast, your source for all things indie film. Now available on the Mograph Podcast Network.
Film. That's my favorite part.
Jen asked, what is the theme this year? And we haven't officially announced the theme. However, I think if you read the descriptor, I think it's on the Instagram, you'll have an idea of where that's going. Little teaser on there. So make sure you go check that out on there. Make sure you follow Camp Mograph on social as well so you can get all the updates. Right?
Absolutely. Sorry, I had to shove a Girl Scout cookie in my mouth real quick.
Oh, man. I gotta ask my daughter
What
what's
kind?
up. Yeah, what
Girl
kind?
Scout season.
What kind, though?
Time to go hunt some Girl Scouts.
What kind, though? What kind of cookie was that?
It was a Thin Mint.
Oh.
Those ones are the easiest to eat right now.
A whole
It's just-
sleeve of.
It's in the roll.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, that's
So,
true.
but we bought some Samoas as well.
Should we do a poll follow-up? I don't know if a lot of people
Yeah,
have hit
let's
this
see
up
if
yet,
anyone-
but oh, goodness. Even across the board, what is going on? Well, it hasn't been that long yet, but
Right.
there we go. So 25%, like all the
Right.
way across, unless there's another update. No, yeah, all right.
No.
There we go. Well, get your votes in for next week, and we'll follow up on that in a little bit.
Yep.
Kristin, thank you for waiting
Hi.
for all the
Yes.
headlines so that we could talk to you. I got your website here, KristinSjoquist.com. Make sure you check that out. Got reels and things on there. I guess introduce yourself. You were at the DAT tour with us in Miami, but for those who didn't
That's right.
watch that presentation, tell everybody who you are.
Sure. So I am Kristin Sjoquist. I am a motion designer in the Sarasota, Florida area. I've worked for a plethora of different companies. I've worked at Hasbro, ESPN. I'm currently with A&E Networks, and I just love what I do.
You worked at Hasbro?
Yes, briefly.
What were you doing at Hasbro?
So I was on their, the division was called Cake Mix. It was their advertising side. So it was the commercials for the different products.
That's really fun.
Nice. Did you work? Have you
Yeah.
worked with Whitney at all? That was on DAT with us?
No, unfortunately. We connected while we were in Miami. Unfortunately, she was on the more toy design side, and they kind of kept us pretty separate unless
Right.
there was like, hey, there's a very specific feature of this toy that we need to make sure gets highlighted,
Gotcha.
I told Jags that he needs to meet Whitney because Jags is really getting into that toy design stuff. So I'm gonna do an intro.
I've been
at some
doing-
point.
I've been doing a lot of product design this past week for toys specifically. It's been a lot of fun.
Nice.
Yeah.
I've been doing product design in Volume Builder to crappily
Yes.
put things together.
Dude, the volume builder to remeasure workflow is just so good. It's so good.
I don't need no Make It Look Grade 11. What are you talking about? Anyway, you are a student of Brodeur, right? Brilly.
Yes.
Really?
But you have
Now
a
known
different
as
name.
Brilly, yes.
What is your nickname for him?
We called him Brody.
Brody.
Yes. I
Okay.
mean, to be fair, we called him pretty much anything he would answer to. We were one of his first round of students, so he got the short end of that stick.
That's funny.
Locked and Loading, B-Dog.
Yeah, B-Dog, Bromeister. It basically, we just kept upping it until he eventually was like, I'm just not going to answer you guys anymore. And it's like, okay.
Oh man,
Do you have,
he's
like-
fun to tease.
Do you have bad stories, like embarrassing stories about him and stuff? I hope so.
Oh, man. How much am I allowed to say? Sorry, David. He, especially really early on, I think it was his first time really teaching anything.
Mm-hmm.
So he was still trying to figure out the ropes and, trying to figure out how to take the immense amount of knowledge that he has and put it out in such a way that students would be able to absorb it. And we did not make that job easy for him. We were difficult. It was also our thesis time that he first came in. So all of us are really hyper focused on that thesis project, making it this just masterpiece. But he really saved my butt a couple of times on some projects. There was one 3D project I was trying to do that I just could not. I was doing like a pull cord. I had green screened my hand in our studio to make it look like I was pulling a pull cord. And I, for the life of me, could not get it to work. I tried to use a piece of green yarn as what I was comping out to replace in 3D, and that was a mistake because it was the wrong color green. So I'm trying to pull it and like put like the beads in my hand, and he was looking at it and he was just like, "We need to reshoot this." I'm like, yeah, I know.
That's funny.
But no, he was great. He was a spectacular teacher. Even with the difficult start of coming in with my class, he was a great teacher.
And you met your husband there as well, is that right?
That's right, I did.
Was he also one of Brodeur's students? I think I remember that correctly.
Yeah, he got Brody a little earlier on, so he got him more when he was a sophomore. And got more of like the 3D. The 3D education that he got from Brody in those early years was just amazing. He got to learn like lighting and texturing and all these extra features in it that we kind of got to get on the back end. So it was definitely a different experience for him.
Somebody in the chat
Such good
says,
work.
Always walked into class with a smart water bottle. Is that...
He did?
It's true. Oh, Allie. Hi, Allie. Yeah, he did.
I love the great mixture of 2D and 3D on your reel.
Thank you.
You know, that's one thing I wish I had more on my reel was some of the 2D stuff, because I feel like a lot of clients are looking, I don't know, with the C4D stuff, they're always looking for After Effects as well, or specifically motion design. A lot of them are looking for After Effects. So, yeah.
So one of the things we were going to talk about today is finding personal happiness and success in your field. Of course, besides money. Money helps, I think.
Very much.
But besides the money, we were going to talk about how you find happiness in what you do and in your success. So we'll just sit here and not talk and just let you... No, I'm just kidding. We'll join in as well.
That's how we don't find happiness.
Right. So how have you found personal happiness in what you do?
It's been hard. Like, especially coming straight out of, 4 years of learning all the technical, all the creative, all the jargon, and coming into it now suddenly you're a professional. And not only do you have to know the jargon, you also know how... Yeah, professional, exactly. There needs to be air quotes around that, because it just... you learn all this stuff and you're like, okay, I've learned everything. And you get out there and it's like, I have learned nothing.
Yeah.
You've got to figure out how to adapt with it. You've got to figure out how to adapt to your different companies. You know, you might get into a company and realize, yikes, this is not for me. And it might not be the company. Maybe it's the career. Maybe it is the company. Who knows? But they try so hard to prepare you for the creative side of it and the technical side of it, but no one can prepare you for the personal side of it.
Right.
You know, finding what it is that actually makes you happy doing motion design and what you're willing to do as a professional, what you're, you know, learning and then willing to not do ever again, like Roto. Never.
Never.
No one likes doing
You
Roto.
say it, but it's still going to happen.
That's
Every
what
time.
we need AI
Every
for. But
Yeah, right?
Take the stuff we don't like.
right. There's a
But,
lot of variables,
no.
so like I can imagine if you do get a project that you like for a company you like, and then just the people suck, you know, that
Yeah.
just kind of ruins the whole deal.
Yeah, for sure. You've got to find that perfect balance between all of it because there's always going to be something. Like there's never going to be the perfect job with the perfect people and the perfect projects.
I don't know.
hard-
If I got paid to like just like not do anything, that sounds like a pretty perfect job.
But that's funny because I've had some jobs that have that happen where it's like you get nothing and then you're sitting
I
there
do
like,
take that back. I've had that job too. It's not great.
yeah, where it's like you're just sitting there and is it me?
Right?
Am I the problem?
No, it's the
But-
kids who are wrong.
Yeah.
It's always the kids. But you know, we see a lot of students come through Ringling. My husband is a professor there now, so we get to interact with all of these up and coming students that are going to be, you know, our next competition out in the field. And you know, you see them prepping for places like Buck and places like Imaginary Forces. You know, the big names, the heavy hitters. And then there are some of them where it's like, but I don't want that.
Yeah.
Like, what do I do if I don't want to go out to that? And having to sit with them. There's one student last year. They were very talented, very amazing at illustration. And they didn't want to go into just animating. The average motion design job didn't fit them. And I sat with them for a while and talked to them of like, okay, what is it that does bring you joy then? What is it that you see yourself doing down the road? And why are you stressing yourself out so much that you don't fit the mold? And they are now a spectacular employee doing production recruitment because they know what to look for in the designers and the animators because they have that background education, and they could not be happier. They love being more on the production side of it, more the director side, and seeing that angle of it. Being able to figure out, you know, ask yourself those hard questions, you know, whether it's while you're a student or while a professional, you know, being able to ask yourself those questions and go, what is it that I really want to be doing with my time? You know, 40 hours a week is a long time to be doing something that you hate.
Yeah.
Gosh, yes. Been there.
Yeah.
Haven't we all?
Yeah. And
Normally it's those 60-hour weeks that you
Right.
tend to hate more than the 40-hour week.
right.
Yeah, if it's a 40-hour week, you're having a good week.
Right.
Right. I love working for myself. I love working on projects that I really get into that like hyper-focus mode, those kind of things. But a lot of that, like I'm doing by myself, just sit in my office. So I can understand how some people don't want to gear up for a job at Buck or one of those things. Maybe they want to be an artist, an actual artist, not just working for somebody else, but getting paid to do their art, NFTs and whatnot, which are still around, I guess. But over the years, like style and approach to motion design has changed for me. I don't know about you. Do you approach your projects differently than you did, like say, right when you graduated?
Oh, significantly differently. It's been when I graduated, I had this rose-colored shade feel of like, I am going to have 2 weeks to create my concepts and make them perfect, and I am going to have another 3 weeks after that to design everything and make it perfect. It's like, no, why don't you have an idea 2 hours ago? You know,
Yeah.
like everything is so much more fast paced. And there are times that you get to do that one passion project where it's like, yeah, I do have time to plan this all out and make it perfect and enjoy the process. But that's few and far between.
Yeah, it's tough to do that when people are waiting for an email from you with something all day, and they're like, "Come on, where is it?" One of the
Let me just hit the animate button.
Yeah.
That was easy.
And again, in the comments, the hardest thing for kids to learn is to not compare yourself to other kids in the class. That was easy.
Yeah.
The thing that happens online, right, when you're comparing yourself to others, happens in real life if you're in school and you're in a class where those people are right there, right? And the teacher might be like, "Oh, that's really great," and you're like, "Well, mine's not. You didn't say mine was great."
I didn't have to worry about that. I was top of my class.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or
I only say that because all the other kids who graduated with me, and I do say kids, they were all really shitty. So my stuff wasn't that good. The Art Institute would push through anyone as long as they paid their bills.
Well, and you're around people who might not necessarily be doing this to get into it for a living, I guess. Like, especially if you're just at like a non-art college, right? Like college. It's like that's just one of the courses they're taking after science and some other things, you know. But and then you've got like that one kid who's like really good in the class, and then all the other kids like crowd around the computer screen. Oh, and you're just sitting on the other side, like, dang it, my stuff's not that good. I can understand the stress, anxiety, depression, self-loathing, imposter syndrome, all the things. But it's one thing to like figure out that workflow, to evolve your style after you graduate, and then to stay inspired, of course, is hard to do too, right? Especially 10 years, 20 years down the line. Like, are you really still into it? Are you really still getting inspired? So there are steps you have to take to keep that going, right? To keep it fresh, like a marriage, you know?
Yeah, I mean, avoiding burnout is impossible. You're going to burn yourself out. That's just the nature of the game. You know, especially for a creative, burnout is inevitable. You know, but if you can find your outlets, if you can find things that do inspire you, you know, whether it's taking classes in your spare time or just balancing yourself enough to be able to go for a walk every once in a while, you know, get yourself out of your little mushroom cave and go touch grass.
Go to Disney World.
Go to Disney World. Like, please, can we though?
Right.
Yeah, you have to find your little
We need
joys.
to do a Disney World meetup. That would be awesome.
Oh, man.
Yes.
Here we go.
Can
Yes.
we
I
go?
know at least a half a dozen people who would go.
I know at least 2.
Yeah. It could be fun. I know Pickle Nick will go. Who else is big
Pickle
into
Nick will go.
Disney?
Alex Parker, we could probably get her to go. She works for Disney.
Yeah.
You know?
Brody's a big Disney fan.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Brody,
Him and I
go
have
to
hung out
Disney.
at Disney before. Let's see.
You get Jags.
What's his
Jags
name?
will go.
Oh, yeah. Jags will go.
Yeah.
Jags never been to Disney World.
What?
That's the best one.
Mm-hmm.
We will make it the
It
most
depends.
magical time ever.
Yeah.
It depends on what you're looking for. Disneyland is anyway. Whatever. We should do.
Do you want a tiny
we
castle? Do you
should
want a big
do,
castle? Can we
right?
do this?
Do you want to feel
be
like
fun.
horribly exhausted at the end of the day after walking like basically a half marathon, or do you want to feel just like medium exhausted after the day?
Yeah.
After walking a quarter marathon.
There's a reason they host marathons in those days.
Right?
It's because they're that
Right.
big.
Yeah.
Do you have any favorite projects that you've worked on recently? Like, what's your favorite? What's your absolute favorite?
That you can talk about it.
That you can talk about.
That I can talk about. Yeah, there's a few that I'm not able to. Oh God, not my Behance.
Hey.
Oh no.
Hey, it's
That's
on
my
your
old college
it's
work.
on your thing, you know. I'm just saying.
Oh
Yeah,
no.
I mean, if
It's on-
it's on your
it's on the
if
link
it's on your-
tree.
I've been discovered.
And the website, see, it's like, hey, here's my stuff. Yeah.
I love it. No,
Do you have the shade thing in there? Do you have the pull shade thing in there?
Oh man, I don't. But no, I have different favorites for different reasons. Some of them are like some of my old ones where it's like, I learned a very valuable lesson here, and I'm never doing that again.
Mm-hmm.
Like that Orioles one. That was a junior year project, I think.
Mhm.
The Orioles, their spring break or their spring training headquarters are in Sarasota. So they were a client that the school brought in to do some graphics for. And it was great. It was so much fun. We had the team in our green screen room, and we got to, shoot different things with them. And I decided for some reason that I was really into hand-drawn animation at the time and wanted to make the chicken dance hand-drawn.
Nice.
The big regret on this one was my teacher made me go up on the green screen room with the Orioles bird and do the chicken dance. There's footage of that somewhere. I don't know
Amazing.
where, and I am sure my husband will find it because
$20 to anyone who can find it for me.
It'll turn up when you run for office. Don't worry.
Right?
If you ever can't
Okay,
find,
that's-
it's like I can't find this old video of me anywhere on the internet. I'll just run for office.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
then
and then
somebody
it'll be
will.
found.
Yeah.
But no, like that one, like I learned the hard way, like, okay, no, hand-drawn animation is like a time-consuming task, and if you
So
really want to do
time-consuming.
it, you've really got to dedicate the time to it.
Mm-hmm.
I learned on, oh gosh, what was it? The Season's Greetings card that I did. That was some character, and I did seasonings, so it was like a little pun.
Okay.
Yeah, it was cute. But
So
designing
season's
those
greetings,
characters,
but it's like cinnamon and paprika.
I think I had salt, onion powder, paprika, rosemary, and pepper. I think those were
Okay.
my.
Those don't
lineup.
taste very savory. Those are more.
Yeah, it was a
I don't know.
variety. I don't know.
Not very sweet.
I wasn't going for sweet. I wasn't feeling
All right.
sweet at the time. It.
Yeah.
But like just designing those characters, the back and forth that I had with that was so hard. But I got to learn how to take critiques and actually adapt my designs to it in a way that addressed the problem. It was like reading between the lines. In terms of stuff that I've done recently, like my more recent work, I think the thing I'm most proud of right now is actually up on my Instagram. It's those balloons that I did for my birthday.
Oh yeah, I saw that. I saw that. Your birthday
those are
was
really good.
2 days
Thank
ago.
you.
2 days ago.
Yeah,
right?
yeah, 2 days ago. So
Happy
on Saturday.
birthday. Happy birthday.
Thank you.
I'll try and bring that up here. Yeah, I like those. You did the Mylars, right?
Yeah, some Mylar balloons. Shout out to iDesign for that
Yeah, I was
tutorial
gonna say.
because that saved my butt. Yeah, there she is. But it was I have never been particularly strong in 3D. Like in my education, I was pretty weak in it. I focused a lot more on 2D and hand drawn, and over the last 2 years, I've been forcing myself to relearn 3D. Like I knew it was a thing I needed to know. I was like, nope, I've just got to do it. So I started taking more courses. I just made up projects for myself to give me a reason to be doing it. And I mean, I've gotten somewhere. I've gotten better than I used to be. And I'm proud of that one, I think, especially because that was one of the first 3D projects that I did, that I took a picture of it, sent it to my husband, and the first reaction I got was, whoa. Like, because he's my 3D guy. He's the 3D one in the relationship. And I got a genuine whoa out of him that it was actually good. And I was like, that's it. I've made it. I can keep going now.
It's good to have that. It's good to leave that stuff up, right? You've got to be able to look at that when you feel like, oh, I'm not doing great. Like my work sucks. You know that feeling like, have a bad day. Go open up your old work, and then like critique it and be like, wow, I've improved. I mean, unless you haven't improved, in which case, I don't know what to tell you there. But hopefully you have. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that's something we've been telling some of the students. Like, some of them, they'll look at the work that they're working on right now and they're like, oh, this is garbage. Oh, I can't make this work. Oh, what am I going to do? And I'm like, have you watched your freshman work lately?
Yeah.
And they're like, well, no, because that's terrible. I was like, yeah, but look how far you've come.
Mhm.
Look how much you've grown since then. Look how big of a
Yeah.
difference it has made.
Mhm.
One of the best pieces of advice I ever got was Nick Campbell. I've said it before on the show, but a long time ago on, I don't know, some video he posted, he's like, if you don't hate your reel from a year ago, you haven't improved. So
Yeah.
it's good to hate your reel.
Yeah, for sure.
Mhm. Yeah.
Yeah.
I hate mine.
Yeah. Yeah.
I hate my
I-
current
As long as
reel.
you actually update it, then yeah.
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 Well, yeah,
It was
that
updated
too.
like 3 months ago. I don't like it.
I look at my first reel and it's pretty bad. So it was a long time ago. I'm old. All right. Let's see.
We were
uh-huh.
sharing our first reels in our Halo group chat a few weeks ago, and
Oh,
it
yeah.
was hilarious. It was a lot of fun. Like, that imposter syndrome went away pretty quickly because, everyone else was just as bad.
Right.
That is the
Except
best way to
Vernon.
get rid of
Vernon was,
imposter
like,
syndrome.
amazing
Right.
right off the bat.
Yeah. I think I won the award for the oldest reel. It was 1997.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Ooh.
Yeah, and it was 3D too. Yeah.
That's
I was
funny.
4 years old, 3 years old.
Oh no.
Sorry.
Yikes. I'll have to send it to you.
Oh,
You have to
that's
see
funny.
what was going on in the motion industry when you were 4 years old.
Mhm.
I'd love that.
Are you
Funny.
working in person or remote, or what is your day to day?
I am fully remote right now. So
Fully
I'm with
remote.
A&E Networks, which their base is up in New York City.
Cool.
But they've got a really great deal with the ability to work remote pretty much everywhere.
Mhm.
That's good. And has it, like, how has that changed? Has any of that changed for you? I mean, like, from other jobs, from previous jobs, like workflow wise, have you, like, working for a company like that? Like, I've never worked for a company in that aspect remote. I've done a lot of remote. I work here, but like, how does that work? Do you have like a specific schedule that they have you adhere to, or their check-in times? Like, what is that like?
Sure. So it's very different from just freelancing, because I've done freelancing remote work as well, where it's like I get to dictate my schedule. As long as I can answer emails and I get it to them on the right deadline, then whatever, my hours are my hours. Here, I have designated like basically 9 to 5 hours that I have to be online. Checking my emails. I get my assignments through our Airtable that we use, and then from there I just go through the usual system of like, okay, this is where we upload, this is where you keep in touch, this is the pretty much living on Teams,
Yeah.
which is great.
Yeah.
But no, before that I was doing some freelance remote work, which again, very different. But other than that, I've always been in person. There's only one other time that I worked remote for a company that I was supposed to be in person for, and it's because I was like super sick with a flu. But I only had so much PTO, so I was like, okay, yeah, I'll be out for 2 days, and then I'm just gonna, be in bed from my laptop and hope
Yeah.
for the best. But other than that, I've always been in person.
I think that's a question for a lot of people that are contract, and the way the economy is going and things. Some people are like, well, should I get a full-time job? And then it's like, well, where can I find a full-time job that lets me stay home and stay remote, right? So that was kind of like why I brought up that question, is because, and I'm sure every company is different, of course, but what is involved in doing that? The structure and the meetings and all of that, and how strict,
Especially with
are these companies? Are they watching your screen?
Yeah.
Like, are they screen sharing? Are they watching what you do, or?
Yeah, they're monitoring your mouse movements.
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah. No, it's definitely different for every company. With A&E right now, it's actually they trust us really well.
Nice.
I just have to keep myself active on Teams so that they can see that, yeah, I'm here, I'm sitting at my computer, I'm doing
Right.
my thing. When we get assignments, we have like a little twirl down menu where it can be like, okay, what stage of the process are you at? Which has been super helpful, and that keeps everyone kind of off of each other's shoulders a little bit.
What project management software do they use?
Airtable.
Airtable.
Yeah.
I never messed with Airtable.
It's nice. It's very customizable. Like
Uh-huh.
this is my second round with A&E. They do 18-month long contracts.
Okay.
Oh.
and then you have to take a year off because otherwise they'd have to hire you and give you benefits.
That's so nice.
Oh,
Sorry.
Yeah, right. I could go.
Yeah.
That's a topic
I think
could
Apple
go on
does
for
that
ages.
too.
Yeah,
Oh.
there's a lot of companies. It's a very New York thing, and I hate it.
Interesting.
but do they sometimes bring people on after that? If after that 18
If there's a
months,
position
is it-
available, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean that's the hard part right now is like especially like okay, we're talking the difference between freelance and permalance and full time.
Yeah.
Right now, I would be considered more permalance, which is fine. It's great. But a lot of companies they just will keep the amount of actual staff positions for full time at like the bare minimum, and then the rest is filler with freelance or permalance. And there are some companies, I won't name names, who ignore those rules and keep people permalance past the designated point that you're supposed to be getting benefits.
Yeah.
Which for some people it works because it is technically consistent work. You're still getting your 40 hours a week. It's just different. But
And do
for
they
some
take out
people-
taxes and everything?
Yeah, I'm technically W-2.
That's so weird.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Huh.
it's strange.
Hmm.
It's nice because like it's one less thing to think about. Like I've
Yeah.
alternated between freelance and permalance a little bit now, and freelance is stressful when tax season comes around.
Yeah, it is.
It's very
I'm
stressful.
avoiding it like the plague right now. I got some money put aside. I'm really hoping that I just bought a car so that I could, bring down those taxes.
There you go. Yeah. Yeah. Pro tip: LLCs are a great way to avoid that. But it's been a very different, like, just environment doing permalance as opposed to the freelance stuff. But yeah, I as long as I keep active and as long as I keep up on my deadlines, like as long as I don't obviously miss something, then they're usually pretty chill. I've known a couple people at other companies where it was like, yeah, you have to have a screen recording going, or you have to have someone on call with you while you're doing this, and they're like, this is insane.
Yeah.
Like,
It's so
especially
Big
when it
Brother-y.
gets so bad that it's slowing down your computer. Like,
Yeah.
you're just making it slower.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
It's
get
like
that.
trying to be on Discord while you're working on a like complicated sim or something. Yeah. Yeah, that's no fun. But I think it's great that they are allowing you to have a little bit of freedom there, and they just trust you. I mean, if you got to go downstairs and make a sandwich, or you want to go take a 5-minute walk and just vent for a minute and come back to what you're doing, it's more beneficial in the long run for what you're doing, I feel like. So I feel like if I owned a company like that, I would be the same way. Just as long as everybody's getting done what they got to get done, who cares, right?
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
So, yeah. And the other topic we were going to talk about, our last topic here, is women in Mograph. We had a pretty good conversation in Miami about inclusivity and everything. So, what has been your experience in terms of like representation opportunities? Like, have you seen any shifts lately for the better, for the worse?
It's a roller coaster, honestly. It's, you think you're taking 2 steps forward and then it's, 3 steps backwards and then it's, back and forth. It's definitely better than early on. Just like we look back at our early demo reels to see how much we've improved since then, I try my best to look back at my previous jobs and see how much it's improved since then too. Very early on in my career, it was so bad with representation and so bad with sexism in the workplace and issues like that, and it was hard. It was really discouraging. Like one of the jobs, it was you either are on girls brands or boys brands, and the girls were constantly put on girls brands.
That's crazy.
Like there was a very distinct separation between it. And it was really uncomfy. And there was one time I got put on a boys brand. I don't know how. I think it just was how things got divided up. But I got put on a boys brand, and the team, like the team that was like in charge of it, not actually in the motion graphics side of it, but the like legalese and the producers and all that, were not having it. were not happy that I was the person working on it.
That's crazy.
It was so wild. And thankfully, they didn't take me off the project. And it turned out being one of their best performing ads on YouTube that they had had in years, which, you know, but just saying. But, but it was hard. And then I ended up after that, I was at ESPN, which, like, you would think that'd be a super male-driven industry, especially in motion graphics.
Yeah.
No, it was all women.
Wow, really?
The entire department was there was maybe one guy.
Amazing.
Which was strange.
Yeah.
You know, here we are. But it's been good watching, you know, looking back on those first early companies that I would work for and those challenges and the difficulties, and seeing now that, you know, with A&E where I am currently, they're great. They're so great with equality and, like, keeping things even and, you know, actually encouraging talent and skills instead of, you know, the person.
Yeah.
So there's been a significant improvement in my time in this career. And it's just a matter of it spreading to the rest, because, you know, that one company is not the only one that's like that.
Yeah.
You know, I'm very fortunate that I was able to jump ship out of that one real fast. But it is going to be a challenge moving forward, you know, because it's not just, you know, being the new girl on the team or just being the girl on the team. You know, as you get older, there's other reasons that they find to, you know, discriminate against those kinds of employees. You know, there's never going to be any sort of statistics on it because there's always going to be another reason. But like, there have been people that I know where they come back from maternity leave and immediately get fired. There have been people that I know who get put on these big projects and then they get put on just this tiny little piece of it, so they're not really a part of it. You know, it's things like that where it's like, we've got a long way to go.
And also networking events, community events, things like that. You know, I don't know exactly how to go about it besides spreading the word, like, as far as you know, I'm concerned. But, like, how do we get more women to come to networking events and meetups and everything, and so it's just not a big bro fest? Like, how can we encourage this, you know?
Yeah, it's a tough question, because half the battle is, you know, women taking that step to go to those things. You know, half the battle is, I am going to make the time to go to this. The main reason I went to DAT was, you know, after you guys invited, it was just like, okay, no, I have to do this. I have to represent. And, you know, seeing that you guys made such a diverse panel, oh my gosh. Mwah. But,
thanks.
Yeah, no, it was great.
We didn't in every city, but we tried.
We tried.
We tried.
We definitely
All right.
tried. And
but
I think
that's
what
the
we
part
run
that
into.
matters.
Yeah.
Yeah, you guys are clearly trying, because there's a visual, you know, evidence of the other panels that you guys put together that was like, yeah, we did really try. And, you know, half the battle is, you know, finding people who will actually try. Finding people who will be welcoming and inviting and bring you into the fold. Like, I cannot stress enough how amazing it was being at DAT and around all of these big names and all of these people that I was taught to like get inspiration from, to look to, and them just welcoming me in like one of the guys, like welcoming me in, and all the girls there as like, yeah, you are a part of this community. The motion graphics community on an internal level really has the potential to be incredibly inclusive. It has so many good people in it. Everyone here just wants to make pretty things for the sake of making pretty things.
Yeah.
But there's always going to be those bad apples that ruin it. So I think you guys are really just on the right track with opening the door, allowing people to come in and do the thing, and creating a welcoming and safe environment for people to come into. And for any girls who are watching this who want to know, this is a safe environment. You guys will be okay here. Just take that step, take the leap, big deep breath, and it's going to be great.
We're cool people. Us motion
cool
designers.
Most
Come
of the
hang
time.
out with us.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it is hard for us sometimes, because there will be a city where we know all these people, And we
Yeah.
or we know, or those people know other people, right? Like the whole
Mm-hmm.
networking thing. And then we'll go to like a city in Europe where we don't know anybody and we can't find anybody. And so I think it's also a matter of like, don't be afraid to recommend. Like if you're, if you know people doing these things, don't be afraid to recommend people to come or ask people to come with you or whatever, because sometimes it's just, I didn't know anybody in Germany, or
Yeah.
like that was a tough one. That was a really tough one. Or
Yeah.
there was one in particular, Matt, I can't remember which one it was, but in overseas, which city was it?
It was Germany.
Was it Germany?
Yeah, it was Germany.
It was tough. It was
Yeah.
tough, and the contrast between that and Miami, so we're trying.
It's a huge wake-up call in an industry that is so connection-based. Like,
Yeah.
realizing that you actually don't have as many connections as you think. Because I thought I had a whole bunch of connections, and then I went down to DAT, and I was like, whoa, there's a bunch of people I don't know.
Yeah. I had that shock the last time I went to the UTD meetup. It's like, oh, there's a whole bunch of students that I don't know, that I should know, who don't know me at all, and should know Mograph, Let me introduce you to Mograph.com.
Jen says daytime meetups on the weekends might encourage more women to go. We've kind of been back and
There you
forth
go.
on some of these things because, I think when we first met Barton, he said, you need to do Thursday nights. And we're like, why Thursday nights? We were going to do a Friday. And he's like, well, because Friday everyone wants to go home.
Yeah.
Or they have plans or whatever it is, right?
Yeah.
Saturday, they're not going to want to get up and go back into downtown or wherever they work
Yeah.
and do that thing. They need something Thursday night. They can leave work and go check it out. They still have to like go home and go to work the next day, but that's an interesting thought. And, we've never done a Saturday before. So
No, that'd be interesting.
yeah.
There's a place over here by my place. There's a couple of breweries. There's like one brewery. You've been to that one. That was a fun place. And then there's another one that has a whole outdoor area thing. Maybe we should do one at what's the food truck place? What's that food truck place?
Oh, it's Truck Yard.
Truck Yard. Yeah, that'd be fun.
Yeah.
We should do that.
What advice would
Anyway.
what advice would you give to aspiring young female motion designers who are looking to carve out their place in this? Either they've just graduated or maybe they haven't even started their education yet. That's a
Don't
tough
let
one.
it limit what you aim for. Don't
Like that.
don't limit yourself on top of the limitations that other people could potentially put on you already.
Mhm.
I think that's the hardest part, really, is fighting back on the experiences that you have that make you feel smaller, and reminding yourself you don't need to be small. You do not need to be small. You can be who you are and be large and proud and happy with what you are doing. And there will be someone out there that will take that and make it amazing. You don't need to settle for people who are trying to put you down.
That's great.
Straight up.
Yeah. Straight up.
There's another way I could have said it, but I don't know if I'm allowed to say that on YouTube.
Oh, this is an interesting. Breweries are going to generally turn out more male than female turn. That's something I've never thought of, is venue.
Huh. Yeah.
What are those other venues though? I don't really know where else to hang out besides a bar,
Yeah.
or a restaurant, That's
There's
an
some
interesting
places
thing.
like that bar that we did in Miami was actually pretty chill. It had a nice.
Yeah, Dave hasn't stopped talking about that bar in Miami
fun.
since it happened.
Awesome. That place is
That was
awesome.
fun.
Really was.
Funny.
I was disappointed
But
Rev
yeah,
couldn't
like-
come because he was going to
Yeah.
DJ with me, but. But yeah, we got to do it again. Like, I really, next time we go to Miami, we got to go there again, It was so chill. So chill.
I mean,
Yeah.
Disney meetup. That seems
Disney
Yeah,
meetup. I'm
there you
telling you, that's it.
Disney
That's
meetup. Disney meetup.
it. There is no greater connection with a Mographer than sitting in It's a Small World.
Yeah.
20 minutes. right?
I
The
don't know.
collective trauma.
Right?
The TikToks I've been seeing lately, I'm kind of raring to go back to It's a Small World. Seems like there's a lot of shenanigans going on in there
I
lately.
know, right? Well, one was Disneyland. The other one was Disneyland Paris. So you're okay in Disney World.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so far.
So far.
So far.
So far, we'll
yes.
see.
Keyword.
Yeah.
Yeah, Allie, that's a good one. She said,
Oh,
I would love
studio
to see more
meetups.
studios host. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I would like that. Unfortunately, you've got a bunch of studios that are all remote now, you know?
Right.
It's like,
Even online meetups though, because I know Joey with
Yeah.
School of Motion does a whole bunch. Like I missed 2 of them last week because I was busy. But like he hosts all these online meetups. That those especially are so easy for people to just I just need to commit. I'm gonna set the timer on my phone and I'm gonna go do it. I know it's not the same as being in person and it feels a little more difficult to like speak up and say things and be recognized, but that one meeting might be the one place that you actually get a chance to talk to the right person at the right time. But it's not going to be a chance if you never sign up.
yeah.
The hardest part about that for me is I don't like to drink on a virtual meetup. It's just not fun.
Yeah.
I don't
You
like
just
to
feel
sit
like
at
you're
my desk
drinking
and
Use
with
a water
yourself,
bottle and pretend it's vodka.
right?
Yeah. Pass out before I can turn off my camera.
Or use a water bottle and fill it with vodka.
Yeah.
There we
that's
go.
it. Yeah.
I swear that's water.
Funny. Yeah. Cool. All right, we're going to go to one more commercial break here real quick, and then we're going to do our poll follow-up once again.
Hey, fellow Mographer, I'm Dryson, and I would love to personally invite you to check out Frame One, a podcast where I sit down with creative leaders within our industry to hear the journey of their startup story, how they felt, and of course, uncover tips and tricks that they use to find success in their business. If you've ever considered freelancing, or maybe even starting your own studio, you need to check out Frame One, available on all podcasting platforms, and of course, at frameoneshow.com.
I need to put another episode of that in the mix for after the show. I think I'll go select another episode. I'm going to select it right now on the air, actually. I'm gonna tell you what I have, and I'm going to play that on Mograph TV right after the show, so you can tell me which one you like. All right, I'm going to my folder of shows. Frame One. We got. Let's see. We got Cream, Secret Powers, 12 Midnight, Ladybird Animation, Swarovski.
Do Ladybird. Yeah.
Ladybird. Okay.
Yeah.
Play the Ladybird episode. I'm going to put that in here right now. It's ready to go. So if you're watching Mograph TV, make sure that you check it out
Mograph
after.
TV.
I believe if you're watching on the regular stream, it should flip over to Mograph TV on its own after.
Cool.
I think. The poll that we had going was actually I checked on it too early. I was supposed to wait until this part of the show in order to check the poll. So let's see. Oh boy,
Oh.
Ooh.
that
Nice.
mixed platform rendering though, it's doing better.
That's what I get for voting twice. I'm just kidding.
You
I
didn't vote twice.
I did not.
You can't, unless you're real sneaky, real sneaky. Yeah, I lost my notes. I'm looking desperately for them. There they are. Thank you so much for coming on.
Yeah, absolutely.
I can't wait to hang out in person again. Hopefully Miami. Oh, hopefully NAB actually.
I would
You
love
know.
that.
Yes.
It's on my bucket list. That and SIGGRAPH. I am ready to go.
NAB is more fun than SIGGRAPH, I'll say that much.
I've
Because
heard.
it's in Vegas.
Yes.
But SIGGRAPH
It's the
in
best.
Denver this year should be pretty fun.
Yes.
That'll be pretty nice.
And
Yeah.
and the whole Denver thing, there's just so many people in Denver. Maybe we should do some sort of pre-meetup event or
Yeah.
something. I don't know. Something. There's so many people there.
SIGGRAPH, Mograph karaoke.
SIGGRAPH, Mograph.
No one wants me singing karaoke.
I feel like Denver, there's just so many motion designers there. And
Yeah.
so we got to do something. I don't know. We'll think on
Luis,
that for a while.
he'd come to Disney with us.
Yes.
He's a big Disney guy. Yeah.
Yeah. Cool. Well, if people want to find you online, where can they find you at?
My Instagram is at showoff. I think that's it there underneath my. There it is.
Oh, I just got that.
Spelled SJO.
Yeah,
SJO
SJO_OFF. That's been a family thing. My dad is a pilot, so his is air show.
Oh,
my
that's
sister
hilarious.
was
That's
a dancer, so hers was dance show. So I had to do something. It's a family tradition.
All
Right.
So I'm
Love
show
that.
off.
Love
Okay.
it.
See, in my family, we have with cost, we say cawsome.
Yeah.
Something is
Cawsome.
cawsome. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's
We just
cost-
always get
Cawsome.
Milkhead or Millhouse.
Millhouse.
Oh no.
Thrill Ho.
Thrillo.
Yeah, I just got that. I can't believe it took me since August to realize
Yeah.
that that's what your name was. But,
It doesn't help that you don't really hear the last name
Right.
that often.
Yeah.
Like
yeah.
that's part of why in the intro to my my reel I have it type out the phonetic first and then
Mhm.
backspace to do the correct spelling.
I like that.
'Cause that was
It's like
something-
when you're reading a book,
yeah.
and like it's like ran across the road to meet and this is the way I read it in my head.
We had the officiant at my husband's wedding. We're huge Lord of the Ring fans. So he and the officiant had only ever read the books. He'd never seen the movies, but he
Okay.
wanted to include it in what like the little talk that he was giving, and he pronounced it Gandalf
Oh.
instead of Gandalf. And me
Love
and my
it.
husband are sitting there just like we can't correct him, but go on.
Yeah,
This is great.
that's funny.
There's one.
But-
There's one I did on a show one time, and it was just I was like so embarrassed. I can't remember what it was, but it's one of those things where it's like Gone with the Wind. I've never heard it out loud
Oh,
before.
no.
I don't remember what word it was, but
I didn't know how to pronounce Hermione's name for like the first 3 books until the movie came out.
Hermione.
Hermione, yeah.
it's funny.
Yeah.
Well, thanks again for joining us. We're going to take off. We're going to just real quickly remind you to check out those sweet Camp Mograph tickets for Australia. And keep an eye out for the American version, of course, and ticket sales and all of that. Check us out at mograph.com, mograph.com/TV. Turn it on, rip the knob off. You can check us out on youtube.com/mograph. TikTok, of course, we're actually live right now. Nobody's watching. That's a
TikTok.
shame. All right. Well, we'll work on that.
Work day.
And Instagram, we're going to be doing some more short form content and things. But that's about it. That about wraps it up. Thanks again. And we're going to get out of here. Till next time, I'm Dave.
And I'm Matt.
Have a good one.
Later, yo.
It's pretty good, I guess. Introducing Mograph TV from Mograph.com, a free motion graphics and animation channel streaming your favorite content and favorite artists 24/7. Mograph TV features motion graphics tutorials, talks, tips, inspiration, and replays of popular live shows. We offer something for all levels of designer, from introductory tutorials to high-level breakdowns and everything in between.
That track looks great to me.
Mograph TV features software like Cinema 4D, After Effects, Unreal Engine,
What up?
third-party plugins, and other 2D and 3D software. We also feature live motion events, short-form clips, crypto art, and even a little photo and video editing. Learn from the people that inspire you most, and stay up to date on all the latest industry news, announcements, and community events. You'll also see exclusive offers only available by watching. With 3 8-hour blocks each day, you'll be sure to catch everything, no matter what your time zone. Keep it on as a companion to your workday and learn something new. Meet a friend, watch a demo, catch a classic tutorial, or even find new inspiration.
That's a British word?
A lot of things are British words.
Yes, good luck with all your projects.
Mograph TV, television for the design community, 24/7.